What's up everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Retail Nightmares. Tonight on Retail Nightmares, we take a look at Karens getting triggered. These are angry ladies who thought they were above the rest, and they decide to call people out even though they're the ones in the wrong. We have a lot of angry Karens to get through, so let's jump right into it. Our first Karen today is an aggressive driver. Basically, she pulled in front of somebody, cut him off, and then gave him the finger. Little did Karen know she would get followed home and confronted for it. Karen did not know how to react and had no idea she was being followed, and when she was confronted about doing that, she didn't know what else to do but to break down and cry. In the middle of the street, she got on the fetal position and started crying hysterically, begging somebody to help her. She claims that being called Karen is abuse and needed the authorities involved immediately. Let's have a look.
I don't understand. Karen, are you okay?
I don't understand what happened.
Can you explain to me calmly?
No, because you're attacking me right now.
I'm not attacking you. Ma'am, you flicked me off.
You're ready to take this. This is not true. No.
Karen, you flipped me off.
No,
you cut me off and flipped me off, and now you're playing the victim.
Calm down.
Ma'am, would you like to calm down?
No, you're attacking me right now without even.
Guys, she flipped me off. She literally flipped me off, and then she tried to come home. She's Karen. Karen, would you like to calm down and have a conversation? Why you? Am I attacking her? Ma'am, I'm not attacking you. You flipped me.
Okay, so as you can see, this Karen had flipped off this gentleman and then said something very mean to him as well. So the gentleman recording wanted to publicly shame her for her actions, and she decided the only way out of this was to start hysterically crying in the fetal position until somebody came to save her. The problem was, though, there was nothing to be saved from. This gentleman posed no threat to her. He was not threatening her in the slightest. He was literally just recording her and calling her a Karen because of her actions of cutting him off, flipping him off, and then saying something incredibly offensive to him. Let's have a look at what happens next.
Ma'am, I'm not attacking you. You flipped me off and you thought you could get away with it. You didn't think I would find you.
No. I will talk to you if you will stop. Oh my God.
She can apologize for calling me and flipping me off. I'm trying to talk to you. My name is Carlos. Would you like to speak to me? This is what we get picked. Ma'am, why are you sitting here crying? What have I done to you?
Okay, so our next Karen today had her child push an autistic kid over. The siblings confronted Karen because Karen's kid pushed the autistic kid over, and Karen had no remorse for it. She said that the autistic kid must have done something wrong if it made her kid push him over, and then she started profiling them. She got really abusive and offensive really quickly and refused to apologize, and things only got worse from there. Karen said that their autistic brother must have deserved it, and then started telling them to go back to their own country. This is one of the worst Karens I have ever seen. Let's have a look.
I'm 75% Mexican.
Oh, so you're Mexican?
Yes,
That's not a wetback.
but
That's not a wetback.
why did she call me a wetback then?
That's not a wetback.
Then why did she call me a wetback?
Problem.
Why did she call me a wetback?
I wasn't out here, I don't know.
Well, check your daughter because that's racist. It's really extremely racist.
You're coddled,
It's
aren't
extremely
you?
racist.
You're coddled. Sticks and stones,
No,
my dear.
I'm not.
You're never going to learn about sticks and stones. Mommy won't tell you, but you need
Yeah,
to
but
learn.
it's racist.
No, it's not.
No, it is racist.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
It is
She's
extremely
yelling at us.
You can
racist.
stop for a second.
Calling
She's
my
backing
daughter
up.
a wetback.
And she called my mom a
Called me a. What kind of
Like-
language is that? In
I
front
taught
of
her
all
well,
these
right?
kids.
I
I
just
know.
don't.
And
Well,
she
I
did
think
it in
the
front of-
whole thing is if you would have been paying
She
attention
does
to
it
your
in front
son,
of her own kids.
if you would have been paying attention to your own son, it wouldn't have been a problem.
I am paying
Really?
attention
You
to
weren't.
my
He
son.
has
Yes, I
autism.
am.
As you can see, this Karen has no sense of remorse. She truly doesn't care what her daughter had done to this autistic kid and believes that if her angel daughter had done anything, then this kid must have deserved it. But it didn't end there. Karen started profiling them and abusing all of them. Things got heated between all of them, and they actually had security come out to the parking lot and get involved. Karen truly believed that she was absolutely in the right, and if anything, I think she wanted an apology from them. Let's take a look at what happens next.
With there's 5 kids here. There's
I have
5 kids.
with
Right.
me.
There's 5 kids.
One
It's
with
one. It's
autism,
just. It was just her by
and
herself.
Right.
She's by herself. You think she'd have a little more humanity in her to be patient?
No, if you would just take care of your own, it wouldn't be a problem.
But maybe if your daughter wasn't a
Maybe if you
racist
guys- okay, yeah, that's what
and a
it is.
bitch,
Oh.
then
But it's
and didn't
okay.
call my mom a.
For her to- You're not going to tell me. I don't know who you are.
Conversation.
Who
I'm
are
target
you?
security.
Okay, so scoot back.
Target security.
Get out of my face. Because
Conversation's
security or
over.
not, get out of my face.
Conversation
I am
is
walking.
over.
Get out of my face.
No, you weren't
Get!
walking.
I'm walking. Get out of my.
You went just around me.
Move! Move!
You can go that way.
You need to know your job.
I do know my job.
Okay, so step back and let me by. Step back and let me by.
You need to
Know
arrest
your
her.
job. Step back and let
I
me
do know
by.
my job.
I think she's on something.
Okay, so this Karen just had to run into a convenience store, so she decided she was legally allowed to park in the disabled parking. Obviously, that's not the case, and she got called out and confronted for this. Instead of apologizing and moving on with her life, she defended herself by saying that nobody there is disabled, and therefore nobody needed the spot. She also threw it out there that she is a police officer and she knows what she's doing. She was called out for being a police officer, but it turns out she doesn't know her badge number, and these gentlemen actually had blocked her in until she apologized, and she was so adamant on not apologizing for what she had done that she got her husband involved. Let's have a look.
Can you tell him to just like leave me alone, bro? Like, what is your problem? Like, why are you fighting with me?
Miss, I don't have a problem.
I understand, but like, you were parked over there. There was nowhere to park. Like, I pulled up.
But it's disabled parking spot.
Okay, so why is it bothering you so much? Are you disabled? Were you trying to park there?
Maybe I am.
But why is it bothering you so much? Hi, everybody. How are you? Like,
my father is disabled.
Okay, but was your father here trying to park here? If your father was here, I would move in 2 seconds.
But you shouldn't
and
park here. But you told me you were a police officer.
And I am a police officer.
You're a Haverhill police officer.
Not a Haverhill police officer.
But you did earlier.
But I am. I'm a Revere police officer.
Revere. What's your name?
My name is Christina.
What's your badge number?
I'm not giving you my badge number.
Well,
no need to give my badge number.
But you have to.
No, I do not have to give you my badge number.
If you identify yourself as a police officer, you have to give me your badge number.
You want me to call my husband?
Call your husband. Here we go. JFN 69.
Okay, so this gentleman lives next door to a Karen, and basically every single time he leaves his house and walks down the street past Karen's house, she calls the cops on him. This gentleman has been Karen's neighbor for quite some time, but every time he walks past her house, she profiles him and just calls the cops. This gentleman has tried to have very civil conversations with her and asks her what she's doing, but she constantly screams on the phone for police to come immediately to arrest him. When obviously he is doing nothing wrong, he is literally her neighbor, and he has tried to have civil conversations and introduce himself, but she refuses to believe that he is her neighbor, and he can't even walk past her house or on the sidewalk without her profiling him and calling the cops. Let's have a look.
So I just walked by. She started screaming at the top of her lungs. So I recorded it with my GoPro.
He will not leave me alone. I need law enforcement that is not friends with him. They are all friends with this man. This man used to work at Oviedo High School in the football department, and the Oviedo police love him. They will not deal with him. I need somebody.
Absolutely insane.
Okay, so this gentleman was out having some drinks with some friends when he was getting abused by these Karens. He pulled out his phone to record these Karens and they continued doing it, but then when he called them a Karen, they said that that's illegal and so offensive that they called the cops. That's right, this gentleman called them a Karen and they said that it's illegal to be called Karen. And even though they are in the wrong and they were abusing this gentleman for no reason all night, they then called the cops on him. That went about as well as you'd think, so let's have a look.
You know, being called a Karen is a white person who has success. There's a fine line and there's a difference. You should go back to school and you should learn. You guys came from slavery. Just understand that. That's in the past. That's in the past. Do you not come from Hindad? This is America. We are all equal.
What the are we doing right now? What are we doing right now? What are we doing right now? What are we doing right now?
I finally caught a camera.
Just like I'm trailer
I thought this only happens on Facebook.
Thanks for watching, guys, and if you have enjoyed today's video, please remember to subscribe and turn notifications on.